Hey, what's happening, man? It's your boy Dion checking in. Welcome you to the buffet. One thing about it, two things for sure. You're gonna get good conversation and good motivation.
We got to pour back into the community. We got to go back and talk to the younger generation so that we can be able to build up the next generation, because the ones behind us got to take care of us. One day, long term, they're gonna have to take care of us. And what we teach them, how we go back and teach them, is how it's gonna affect us in the future.
That's the name of the game, is infiltrate and take over. You have to beat them at their own game. And right now, I feel like in this day and age, the name of the game is the power of the dollar. Like, we have to find a way to master the art of money maneuvering. And so that means more Black businesses. That means more generational wealth, things like that. We got to set our generation up for success, because guess what? While we're not where they are, is because one, they had multiple years head start. They had centuries head start, number one. And two, they've just mastered that game at this point. You know, like, and other races have done it as well. Asians mastered it. Jews mastered it. They come to America, they open businesses, they only roll out the red carpet for their own. They take care of their own. If you really think about it, I had this conversation with somebody the other day. If you really think about it, the only race that will bash their own to the point where they won't even support them is Black people. So until we learn how to get on one accord and support one another, we're not going to prosper in any field, no matter what topic we talk about for the rest of this season or for the rest of however long we do this. We're never going to, as a whole, Blacks will never prosper until they get on one accord and support each other.
True. Just to piggyback on that, I gotta throw in, with our community, the issue with the money part is, of course, the education. The fact that you said, the fact that all of these other backgrounds, races, they've beaten us by, such a long shot when it comes to, the money and the backing and everything, is because of not only that education, but it's generational teaching of that, and how they respect it, how they treat it, funny, talking with Dom last night, and made a correlation to, women and everything like that, that it's like, if you were to view money as you were to view women, would you treat it that way? And so it's like, for those generations, teaching their children about women very well as teaching them about money. So it's like, the reason that they have that money for generations is because, they got trust funds, they got estates and stuff like that. Blacks, we get the money, first thing we want to do, Friday night, spend it. Before Monday is even here, the whole paycheck is gone. So you're talking about well into retirement, ain't no retirement, because we spent it, because we've gotten no kind of education along the way about it. When we get education about it, we like, oh man, I got time, I'm good, That's not cool. That's not they had the special on ESPN called Broke. It wasn't sexy, to have money and to be putting it to the side to save, So that's just I don't know, it's a sad thing to admit and say about the Black community, along with how it's been mentioned about the support. But it's something that has come about over time that has just not clicked in the Black community, and it's sad. I don't want to say it's so embarrassing at the end of the day, but it's really sad.
So what do you think could help with the paradigm shift of educating African Americans on money management and generational wealth?
I mean, just like you got the Tyler Perrys, as significant as he is, from where he came from to where he's become now. Even if you look at, Jay-Z being the first Black billionaire rapper, somehow, some way you have to become laser focused on what it is that you want. So if it's the money aspect or the education, it's got to be that desire, just like anything. Excuse me, man. Just like how Dom talks about all the time, you have to be taught about, money or whatever the case might be. So you got to have that desire to want to learn about it. And then from there, what do? You put in action. You put in an action plan as far as how do I earn the money? And then, from earning it, what do I need to do to be able to save it, to invest it, to, make it grow, and then to teach it to somebody else. You don't shove it down somebody's throat, no pun intended, but you place it in such of a position that they'll want to learn about it. They'll want to, teach it, to their kids, to their friends, kind of make it cool. I can't say specifically how to do that, but somehow, some way, it's like we got to find that of what makes that stand out or stick out for people. I work at a bank. It's not the very, very best place to want to brag about working at, but even there, we're not teaching people about money. We teach about people about how to get into debt, how to stay in debt. Even if we, teaching them how to, the money that they have, put it in this certificate of deposit and you getting like maybe 1% of interest. Or, put it in this savings account where you're getting less than 0.05% of interest. Mm-hmm. Like people have to be educated, man. It's so scary. And like I said,
well, drop a gem. What we need to put it at to get that interest? I want to hear that part. Hold on. where do I need to put it to get the?
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh, what you know? What you know, bro? You better.
Where's the massive accumulator?
Like, man, don't say drugs
right now.
That's look. What's that old show called? PTI, pardon the interruption, but where do I?
Pardon the interruption.
Right. I'm about to tell this man to fix me a plate real quick. What you talking about?
Drop them gems, Nate. Drop the gems.
Hey, man, but yeah, man. I mean, it's almost like us. Okay, cool. They say if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Mm-hmm. Any of us, we using smartphones, devices, using electronic devices right now. And we got the device. It came with an instruction manual. None of us use the instruction manual. So, there are rules to money as well, but probably half a percentage, none of us on this phone know anything about them. So it's like that's part of the issue and the solution at the same time. Once we learn those rules to money, then we start to implement them. And it's like, you get that light bulb. It's like, oh, snap. And you learn about, interest and the diversification of funds and compound interest and stuff like that, how it works for you instead of against you. College, go to school, get a credit card, and it's like, 18, 24, 29% interest that it gets you in a hole when at the same time, those interest rates can be working for you, man. It's all kinds of stuff like that. But like I said, when that's not, it doesn't get your attention like, these TV shows and, getting this augmented and, dressing like this and living this lifestyle, they are probably actually practicing some of those actual practices behind closed doors. They not going to show you that on the forefront because they got managers and accountants working for them that they can pay, that can help them so that it's like, they don't end up broke. But, us from the natural eye, we like, oh man, I want that lifestyle. I got to have this and that and third. It's like, nah, it's not like that, man. It's crazy, when you can get your mind and your eyes open up to it, honestly. That's all I can say.
Yo, what's the name of that white dude that he writes a lot of books about money management. He was the one that said, credit, you don't even worry about your credit score when you're just paying everything off in cash and stuff like that. What's this dude's name?
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
That dude.
Like, if we had like the black version of him.
I mean, you got like Boyce Watkins. You got like Boyce Watkins and then that do Black Financial University and all of that stuff.
Like on his scale though, on his level.
I mean,
oh boy, from
it's a start.
Damon John.
Yeah, like the fact that I even have to sit here and ask that question. One, it puts my ignorance on display, but two, I feel like a lot of other people don't know who these people are. Hey, I'm
gonna be honest. I don't either, Mike.
Boyce Watkins.
Boyce
Watkins pretty big, man.
Wait, I'm about to. Every book he got on Amazon, I'm about to go buy them things.
I'm saying
Support the culture.
he having Claude Anderson and stuff on his show. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hey, that's what this is for. This podcast is for the people that need to eat, no matter how you
Exactly.
You
gotta eat.
Exactly. Shout out to Nate for bringing the gems. Nate bringing the hors d'oeuvres today. Nate bringing the hors d'oeuvres today.
Ain't no thing, man.
So what's up, Mike? We're gonna knock out this COVID conversation.
Yeah, boy.
hey, look, there's people that probably took them showers. You see, they doing the club. They streaming the club live. It's probably people did the same thing. Stream the club. You know what I'm saying?
Don't think I ain't peep. You got this do-rag on. You ain't trying to see the world. You ain't trying to let the world see your top right now.
I got the COVID cut right now. You know.
Yeah. COVID cut. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't do that right now.
We in the same boat, bro. We in the same boat.
Man, shoot. Me and my girl tried to cut my hair.
No, y'all didn't.
Yes, we did. All I'm gonna say is my hat is staying on for weeks.
Look.
Yeah.
If I did not have a reputation of wearing hats,
somebody think this was a little weird.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, y'all been socially distant, man. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah.
I'm essential.
Y'all been going to them private parties that people been having.
I'm essential as well.
Bro, when this thing first happened, we had a party at the house. When it first happened. And then the NBA got shut down and we said, oh, this is real. Let's chill out.
Yeah, anytime the NBA got to shut down the whole season, it's real, bro.
It's real.
Super real.
Take cover.
Yeah, I'm essential too. They say you can't come to work Monday without a mask on. Period.
Ooh. Wow.
It's crazy out
I think
here.
we got like 19 cases at my job.
Goodness.
New York currently has more cases of COVID than the other countries.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I can see that though.
Yeah.
Because it's New York is a whole versatile, diverse crowd up there, so I can definitely see it.
In places like that, bro, you got people that only speak English, so they're not consuming the same media that we're consuming. It all depends about where you get your information from, bro. It's people that don't watch television. You know what I mean?
To Dominique, there's people in New York that don't speak English, that not watch TV, don't got cable, this, that, and the third.
Now they dabbing.
Now they dabbing. Now they Disney. Now they days. Going out there without masks, wondering what people walk around looking like this for. You got a whole crew of army people that just like, oh shoot, this is a thing right now. Coming back like a couple of weeks ago. Matter of fact, crazy out there.
And word is that's actually that percentage is only from the boroughs portion of New York, not upstate New York.
Yeah.
So that's even worse.
157,000.
Yeah.
Crazy.
157,000. I don't know what the fatality rate is, but 157,000 they got reported right now. That's the CDC's number.
Crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people where it's like in the beginning, I was like, man, I downplayed the heck out of it. To be honest, how I look at this whole COVID-19 situation, this whole pandemic, it's like the world was traveling faster than they could maintain, if this makes sense. Like we all just needed to slow the heck down and just really evaluate what's going on in our lives and what's happening around us. Like you notice in certain areas, like the environments are better now than they were before. Like slowly but steadily, we were killing. Not to sound like that green person because I could kind of care less. But if you notice, some areas in the environment is getting significantly better. You know, people aren't littering. People, rivers aren't filled with trash and stuff like that. You know, a lot of things are getting better as a domino effect to the quarantining. And so I'm thankful for that, and just thankful for being able to just slow down, man. Like I feel like we all just need to just slow the heck down, man. For real.
True. But could you imagine if you was in school right now and you about to go through a 5.5 month long summer? Well, kind of, sort of. 5.5 months, dog.
Where's the educator in the room? Speak on that, Will.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, first of all, as a teacher, man, this thing is bogus. Like, man, teaching kids through a screen. Like, yeah, I've told people, like, yeah, it's cool. You get it's like you cool. It's cool because you get to stay home and when I can save on gas. I don't gotta buy supplies as much, but it's difficult. Like when you're a teacher who actually cares about your kids learning their things, it's like one of those things that hits you. But I will say this: if I was a student in high school or college with this happening, man, what? Like, I gotta log in.
How many babies is being made?
The coronials.
I have to say, man, this would be an issue. I would have so many issues on my hand that had nothing to do with school.
All personal.
All personal. I'd say education. Education? Man. What? I'm proud of every student who is still logging into class and really trying to do their stuff right now. Because I know, from 2008 to 2013, you talking about sitting there trying to get online to go to class. Man, I can't stand online classes. And I gotta sit there and learn through the screen. Bro, you can catch me next week.
So
it'll be the week after that. Yo,
who are you teaching again? What level are you teaching again?
2nd grade.
Okay, so they're not moving classes like high school or middle school.
No, and that's why I'm so glad. But they do still, like, they gotta log in, they gotta log out. They've gotten used to it, but it's still one of those things, like, with them being so young and having to experience this, they want to move. They want to be around. The bigger issue is their parents, to be honest. Like the parents, and I mean, this gonna sound bad, but the parents, they're not used to having their kid all day. But for 8 to 10 hours a day.
Man, you here again?
For 8 to 10 hours a day, their kid is at school. Someone else is responsible for their child. When they get home, they have to sit there and be like, all right, let's do your homework. If they did not go to after school. If they went to after school, they expect their kids' homework to be done.
So it's time for a snack and a nap.
Boom. Let's feed you dinner. Have a little bit of family time. Let's go wash your ass. And then boom, put you in bed. Get ready for school tomorrow.
Ain't none of that right now.
Nah, they with them all day.
Wait a minute, you ate the whole bag of cereal already?
What? The parents,
I had to bite
the first week, the parents are asking, like, hey, when they going back to school?
No, and I love it because it's like, you raised them. Like, that's a part of your upbringing. You got to deliver. Yeah, hold yourself accountable. Like, that is the perfect accountability tester right there. Like, that's the perfect measure of your parents. Yo, I love it. And I'm saying this because I don't got no kids, so I'm just sitting back laughing.
Talking. Yeah. I'm calling it. The COVID-19 impact on grades. If kindergarten is doing online classes, kindergarten through 12th grade is going to influence a better generation of youth. Just because the parents have realized what they did and now they have to deal with it. They're about to turn their ways around and they're about to make some civil, upright individuals. These is going to be the best next world leaders we'd have never seen. I'm calling it right now. Year 2030 through 2040 is the best generation to ever hit America. Marcus called it first. Run me my coins because I called it.
Exactly. Hold on. We'll be like, what, in our 40s by then?
Yes.
40s and 50s?
Jesus, man. No, man. But I think It's funny, like even speaking on this topic, like the coronavirus and all that. It's like I think it's crazy because, and I was talking to my little homie about this. He in the Netherlands, and he was like, he was in India when it like first broke out that it was like getting real bad. Then he went to Italy, and now he's back in the Netherlands. He was like, man, it's crazy because this thing started all the way in China, all the way in Asia, and it could have went east and hit America first. So literally, China's over here, and it hit everything before it hit America, and we still looking like, bro, what is this? Like, we don't know nothing. Like every day, like when this thing first started, Black people can't get it. It's only hitting old people. You don't need a mask and no gloves. Now everything is reversed. So everything is reversed and whatnot. And I think what makes it worse is we, as our generation, we've seen so much. We've dealt with so much without having to physically deal with it. Like, like we've seen the impact of war and how national tragedies can hurt you, how national disasters can kill, and how money is really what rules this nation and everything. Healthcare is not the most important thing. We've seen all this. We've been to war without having to go to war.
Right.
And whatnot.
Right. Yes.
So when this came up, we not taking it serious. Like we really don't. We really were like, man, this too shall pass, which it will, but we just thinking like, man, it's another Zika virus. You know, some mosquitoes out there.
It's another H1N1.
Swine flu. Like we good and whatnot. So, and now we got so careless with it or so nonchalant with it that we just getting killed off. And you know, God forbid anybody that we know personally get affected by it. But it's like, you know, this thing is creeping up on people out of nowhere. Like, I was reading something the other day. Homie was like, yo, I'm going to start cutting hair, come to you, got the mask, I'm clean. Then homie died.
He gone now. He's dead.
He was like 39. He was like 37 or 39 years old, yeah.
Every line of business that you know, either is working from home or is quarantined, is making a joke about it. But until, just like Will said, until you get hit with it, do you really understand? Y'all, I work in telecommunications. I'm a supervisor in the call center. And I want to say the very first thing I saw the day they started sending my employees home to work from home, so they put up a post on Facebook talking about you're talking to a customer and the customer don't like what you're talking about. So they say, hey, let me speak to somebody higher than you. So the agent put down his headset and said, Ma! Trying to get the like his mom is a supervisor, the mother is a supervisor, something like that.
I would say this though, now is the time that I know in the past, like African Americans, they haven't really been high on going to the hospitals and going to the doctors, getting their checkups and things like that. You know, now is the time to change the culture. Like this now needs to be a shift in the culture where it's like, yo, if you feel the slightest tingle in your throat, if you get a fever, the slightest fever, yo, that thing is like 98.9 instead of the normal 98.6 or whatever it's supposed to be.
Whatever it's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, yo, go get checked, man. Like, I'm not saying be a hypochondriac, but now it's time to monitor your health. Like, this is peak. This is the best time to do so because this is not something to play with. And it also sets eyes on other things that may be affected as well. Like somebody may feel like, oh, I got the coronavirus, and they go to the doctor or whatever. It's like, oh no, actually you just got, you know, high blood sugar, high cholesterol, high this, you got diabetes, you got whatever. So that's the thing I'm hoping happens as well. Like people find other ailments that was wrong with them and take care of those as well. I mean, I don't wish the Rona on nobody, but I do hope that the awareness, it does heighten the awareness.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna say one last thing and then I gotta go. I gotta go get ready for karaoke night.
Ain't you supposed to be practicing social distancing?
Hey, no, it's through Zoom. It's social distance. Quarantine karaoke.
You know
what? So, all right, this is Let's see. All right. Last thing I'm gonna say on it is the one thing that I do think I saw out of this coronavirus thing was that our Black people in our mental, we have a gift and a curse. And I say that because we are gifted with the creativity to make anything funny. Any and everything is funny. Can be funny, will be funny. It doesn't matter. I mean, shoot. It shouldn't be. Slavery should never be funny, but Dave Chappelle has made it hilarious and whatnot. Racism, all that. We have made it funny. When it comes to the idea of the curse, though, is that I think we've shifted through so much pain and hurt throughout history that it has basically been a legacy thing. Like, I guarantee there were people back in slavery times cracking jokes on, did you see how the way Jim Bob got his today? Or the way, like, I guarantee people have always laughed at their struggle. We have always laughed at a time of struggle. And it's no
medicine of the heart.
Now. It is, but it's like, are we really dealing with it? That is the question that I pose to you guys. Like, do we really deal with the pain and the suffering and the hurt that goes on during these crises? Like, you know, shoot, I know people who were affected by Hurricane Katrina and whatnot, and I didn't understand what they were going through until like years later, because they didn't even understand. They were just like, man, all my gone, da da da. I can't chill with homies no more. All this type of stuff. But they don't realize till years later how it really affected them and whatnot. And we make jokes about it to get through. Like you said, it's the medicine. It completely is. It's like the one natural drug that we have in our bodies or whatever. Those endorphins come out. We just feel great to have to be able to laugh. And this is not, you know, trying to say, yo, we shouldn't laugh and stuff, because I think it's great that we can laugh through it. But again, I pose that question to y'all as I go. Do we really deal with our issues if that's all we do? We make jokes about it. So with that being said, I'm going to go get ready for karaoke.
Hey man, appreciate you coming through, man. Appreciate you showing up, man.
No problem. One love.
We are brothers keepers. So pretty much what he asked was based off of how we just make everything a joke, I'm not gonna say make light, but being that we laugh our way through situations, are we really dealing with the situation? Or is it just a coping mechanism? Is it a healthy coping mechanism? And he used the example of Hurricane Katrina. Like people was like, oh snap, my stuff's gone, ABCD, XYZ. Did they really deal with it? Or did they just press through? You know, and to answer the question, I feel like laughter is the Band-Aid. I'm not going to even call it a solution. It's just a survival tactic of like, look, if I don't laugh my way through this situation, I'm not going to make it through this situation. I feel that way about a lot of things in life. Matter of fact, it's probably going to be my demise. Like, my sense of humor is probably going to cost me something near and dear. I hope not, but you know, in the serious profession that I'm in, there are times where, yes, my sense of humor has been to my detriment and not to my benefit. But in a situation like this, I will say that if we can use sense of humor to put out a message that causes positive change, I'm cool with that. But if we continue to do these TikTok videos, make all these memes, crack jokes about it, and don't better ourselves in the process, then yes, it is definitely to our detriment. It all depends on the aftermath, in my opinion. You know, because I could drop a meme in the group right now about an issue that all of us may have. For example, I could drop a meme in our group chat about relationships, and you could laugh about it for the rest of eternity. But if you sit back and think, hey, you know what? That's a good point. Maybe I should look at it this way, or maybe I should do this. If you're able to add another tool to your arsenal because of a meme that I did playfully because I was bored, because I'm quarantined, and yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Hey, I won't necessarily say that's dealing with it or coping with it. That's just, I would say it's a survival tactic. I don't think that's dealing with it, because to me, when you deal with something, you find a solution. And I don't think that is a solution, because that no matter how much we laugh at something, that's not going to fix the fact that millions of people are possibly going to die from this thing.
Well, I mean, it just depends on what type of person you are. Are you a person that's going to cope with it, or are you a person that's going to find a solution to it? Because just going back to your analogy, if you had a scratch or a wound on you, I mean, you can pick at it all day, but until you actually do something to heal it, it's never going to heal. And that's what a lot of people need to do, is just find a solution. I always state this. I even state this at work, that that you should not bring a problem if you don't have a solution to it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can sit there and complain about it all the time, but until you actually work towards it or start a fire to get that problem, you'll never solve it.
Nah, not at all.
So let me talk on that, because that I feel like that is 1,000% true. You know, I'm at work every day, like, okay, at my job and around the world, there's two types of people. There's the complainers, and then there's the doers. The doers are going to do what you just said, Zay. They're going to see a problem and they're going to have a solution to go along with that problem. The complainers are going to, you know, talk about the problem. Now, out of those two people, who are the ones who are making the jokes? Who are the ones who are making the memes about the problem? Who are the ones who are laughing at the problem, My experience, it's the complainers. The complainers are the ones who are like, yo, like, man, shoot, we got another report we got to look at, y'all. I hope it ain't like the last report. You know, they find some type of way to make it funny or whatever, and no solution comes out of whatever problem they presented. The doers, however, they're not. I can't foresee, or I can't think off of experience where a doer at my job is like, man, this report is freaking stupid, yo. Hey, this is just like the time, and then they say something funny, and then everybody laughs at it. Yeah. Now let's talk about how we can fix it. You know, no, they don't do that. They don't go at it with the mentality to laugh at it or whatever. They attack it with the purpose of getting it completed. So I think to the point of what Will was asking, coping with it is a complainer thing, maybe. Actually fixing it or trying to make something happen is the doer. And complaining, making it funny, making a meme, that ain't what we need to be focused on. That's not the wave, as we would say nowadays.
As he jokes,
no, it's not, because like everybody complains until they get that stimulus check, and then they was like, oh, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like for real though, if he got ever in the blessing business and want to say, you know, wipe out my student loans, please go ahead and do that right now.
Hey man, right? Hey.
That a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So take this time right now, regardless of what's going on, regardless of if you're spending your time at home every day, or if you're like myself, essential, having to go out into this stuff each and every single day. Use it to somehow, some way better yourself, better your mind, expand your mind and your thoughts. When you get a chance, look up the rule of 72, begin to study it, implement it, you know, be able to start sharing with people. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody that you haven't reached out to in a while. Family, friends, even some of your haters. Reach out to them. Just see how people are doing right now. It's tough times.
That's very true, man.
And this dialogue is definitely much needed. I feel like a lot of the stuff we discussed, a lot of the content that we provide today and will continue to provide is just food for thought. I mean, that's why we call it the buffet, man. It's food for thought. It's endless. It's all you can eat. Hence the name buffet. So yeah, man, y'all grab a plate. Y'all get up in this, man. Get with this knowledge. These brothers come together just so organically and natural. It's a beautiful thing, and I just wish it could happen more often across the globe, not just with here. So hopefully we can spark something, get people to get to talking more, some ideas. Like Dominique was talking about, the seed gets planted. We just plant seeds in a lot of the minds of the people that watch us. So hopefully this takes off. Hey man, y'all know why I do this, man. Y'all motivate me, so I gotta motivate y'all back. We keep these positive vibes going. I have a blessed day. Tune in to the next episode as we talk about, like, roll credits.